And we are live. That's right. 1, 2, 3, and go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is for you, wherever you are on the Static Planet, because that is where we are coming from live. The Static Planet, known as the border town, Windsor, Ontario. Of course, my name is Michael John of Michael John's Paranormal Ghost Stories. I'm your co-ghost host, along with the man next to me. He is the man of the hour, the man of the power. He's always, too sweet to be sour. His name, of course, is Dale. High spirits, quickly together. We are the voice for the paranormal, the voice of the paranormal, Windsor, Ontario's own, the paranormal voice. First and foremost, I'm going to say thank you so much to the creeps, the freaks, the weirdos that make up from day one to day now, the TPV Nation. We cannot do what we do, and that is right here, right now, what we are doing without all of you. So thank you all so much for tuning in here live, right here, right now. And oh my God, Dale, earlier on, I had my apple cider vinegar. I had my cold shower. I was actually doing it simultaneously. And something else I was doing a little earlier, I was blowing smoke up to my friends, the paranormal gods, of course. Do you blow smoke up to the paranormal gods? I mean, if you don't, do you even paranormal? That's my question. Do you even? Anyway, besides that, we're going to do a quick little harmless plug here. I just came out with a book a little bit ago, and we're very proud of that right here at the TPV Nation. Whatever we do, whether it's me or Dale, it's onward and upwards for the Paranormal Voice, Windsor, Ontario's own. However that resonates, whatever we're doing, we're running this race together. We got a book here, Michael John's Paranormal Ghost Stories. I'll show you that again. That is on all the Amazon outlets from here to the UK, to Australia, and everywhere in between. It's in stores right here in Windsor, Ontario. If you're from Windsor, you want to grab a copy, go to Biblioasis Bookstore at 1520 Wyandotte Street East. One more time, Michael John's Paranormal Ghost Stories, personal life experiences of my own, 30 years plus, from Ouija boards to shadow figures, on and on. Now, my God, Dale, where are we going this weekend? We got so much going on. We haven't stopped. We were just in Connecticut at the Warrens last weekend. And tell us about that.
Oh, absolutely. What an amazing weekend we had up at the Warren Seekers of the Supernatural Phantasmacon. What a fantastic weekend. Got to meet a lot of amazing people. And the most amazing part of it, met two ladies right here from our own city of Windsor.
What?
That was amazing. I was
Hold on. Are you holding out on me?
I'm not holding out on you, brother. It was Oh my God! Oh yeah, so they were talking to. I had a little helper this weekend because you were off running your own adventures. But I had my son Colby with me this weekend, and he was talking to these two ladies, and all of a sudden, all I hear is, "Oh, we're from Windsor, Ontario." And I stopped and I looked, and I was like, "Come on!" I had to come all the way to Connecticut to meet two people from our hometown. But yes, absolutely amazing weekend. Had a lot of great fun. Got to meet some amazing people. Got to hang out with some old friends, made some new friends, and by God, I'll tell you, what an event that Tony Spera and all those part of the Warrens Paracon put on this weekend. So thank you so much to those guys for having the TPV Nation present and representing Canada. So it was such a great weekend. And just before we get off this topic, I just want to pull something up real quick right now. I met two amazing people. Their name is Jeff and Christine. They run this non-profit charity organization. It's called Haunts for the Homeless. And I tell you, what an amazing concept. These people are out there raising money. They host a haunted house, and all the funds that are raised go to helping people on the streets. They help them get all kinds of stuff like blankets, clothes, whatever they need. And most importantly, they help them get off the streets. So so we here at TPV Nation are here to support these guys. So people, write down to where to donate to them on the screen right now. or check them out on their Facebook page. It's called Haunts for the Homeless. Check them out on Facebook, and I'll tell you, what an amazing people. Jeff, an amazing guy, had a lot of struggles in his life, who was homeless at one time, came back, got an opportunity through Haunts for the Homeless, and he is now the president of this organization. So it is a great cause, folks. We here at the TPV Nation love to help the community. So I want all my paranormal peeps that are going to be watching this show today, tomorrow, next week, whenever you catch this video, I want you to reach out, help these guys out, because you know what? Every little dollar goes to help. And I know there's something in the works with us to help them even further, but we will give you more information as that develops. So, folks, once again, check out these guys, Haunts for the Homeless, out on the Facebook. Check them out and help them donate, because the weather is getting cold. We need to get people off the streets. They don't need to be on the streets. But now, coming up to this weekend, that's right, we are headed off to Mount Pleasant, Michigan, to be a part of the Mid-Michigan Paracon with a good friend of ours, Kim Dobbs and Justin. They do a fantastic job up there. We can't wait to get up there to be representing the Paranormal Voice, part of their event. So we look forward to anybody who's going to be up in the Mount Pleasant, Michigan area this weekend. Come on down Saturday and Sunday. Doors open. I think speakers start at 9 a.m. The vendor rooms start at 10 a.m. and go to 6 p.m. So come on down. They got an amazing lineup of speakers. They got Dan Class from the Hinsdale House. They got Robbie Thompson from the show Ghost Finders, Rick Wade. They have Heather, the Backwoods Medium, is going to be there. All kinds of amazing folks. So yeah, check out their page over on Facebook as well. The Mid-Michigan Paracon up at the Soaring Eagle Casino right there in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. So we hope to see you guys. Stop by our table, say hi to us, tell us your creepiest, freakiest ghost story, and who knows, maybe we just might end up on the air with us telling it live to our nations. I just want to say a few hellos. We've got a lot of people who are chiming in for this. We have busy. The Aristocrat. What's up, guys? How's it going with Aristocrat? Aristocrat. We have Chad Dye on the side. Chad, yes, we are. We can't wait to get back to your event. I believe that one is in April or May or March.
Feel free to let us know in the comments, Chad. Of course, Chad, one of the most solid dudes that we know in the paranormal community. Always supporting. Any event you go, Chad Dye has got to be somewhere showing support, helping out the community. Always, you know what I mean? He's one of those guys, forever forward, always has your back. I can't say enough good things about Chad Dye and his support for the community. Nothing but love for that guy.
Yeah, April 3rd. There we go. Thank you, Chad. Yeah, that one is the Midwest Parafest right there in Toledo, Ohio at the Oliver House. That is definitely one interesting building. If you get a chance to get down there to check out that building, join us. We would love to see you. And we have a pair of normal folks, Kev. Hello. Thank you for joining us. We love to have people out here. It says a pair of normal folks, Kev.
Oh, it literally says that.
That's their name on YouTube.
I like that.
The Midwest Parafest. Thank you, Chad. Sorry, man. Yes. So April 13th, 2024. Check us out. They always put on a great event. But right now, Michael John, the moment we've been waiting for. We've been waiting to talk to this lady for a little while. So.
Well, I mean, creeps, freaks, and weirdos, let's get going here. As they say, TikTok goes, the paranormal clock. I want to make sure everybody's got their favorite beverage right now. Get yourself, grab a snuggle and cuddle with your fur baby. Well, no, actually, all your fur babies. Don't insult any of them. They're all your favorite, of course. At least I know in this place, Luna Bobuna and Piper Nooch are my favorites. Of course, live tonight, right here, right now. We ain't tripping fans. That's what I like to say. But I'll tell you what, our lovely guest, she sure is. We have the one and only from the Rising Show, known as Road Trippin with Brie. And oh my God, she is the bomb, ladies and gentlemen. Her name, of course, is Brie Hollingshead. Come on, yeah.
Oh, there she is. Brie, oh my God. I was, I met Brie back in August, I believe it was, of this year that we're up at the Palmyra doing a little investigation together. I believe it was August. Or was that July?
July.
July, there we go.
Yeah.
God, these last few months have been absolutely fantastic. So I met Brie back in July. What an amazing from the moment she walked in the room, I mean, it lit up, energy going crazy. And I'll tell you, and to sit here and watch Brie grow in these last 3 months, July, August, September, October, we're in November, 4 months. Oh my God, Brie, you have been on fire, girl. Like I said, we are so proud. And I got to catch up with Brie up in Connecticut. She came down there. She was hanging out with all the parapeeps, doing what she does, running around, showing everybody her amazing energy. It's like, I need to bottle that and sell it because she would be a multi-billionaire by now.
It's all the ghosts.
So blame it on the ghost. There you go.
Yeah, you got to blame it on the ghost. But I'll tell you,
it's me. I like to say it's the ghost, but yeah, no, that's just me.
So,
and
Brie,
that ghost energy drink is really good, by the way. I had some. Dale and I, we were in Lockport, New York, a few weekends back at the Western Block, doing a little something there with the Buffalo Phantom Hunters, Buffalo, New York area, with Paraniagara as well. But there, I like my Red Bull. That's my thing. I'm a Red Bull guy. Some people call it cold cough syrup, but whatever. I like it. But so my buddy's like, hey, try this. It was some sort of a red. It was like a fish flavor, a gummy fish or something. I'm probably way off the name.
Oh, the Swedish fish.
Swedish fish. Oh my God! Thank you for bailing me out. By the way, yes, exactly. Great taste. And I was like, what I like about it compared to coffee, because I was a coffee guy forever. But you know what? I like the ghost. This is a harmless plug. Not like I'm getting endorsed here or nothing. But oh my God, it's just it's an even keel. You're good. You're not jittery. You're not like out of control. I got enough hyperactivity issues anyway. Manic episodes up and down. Here we go. But it's great anyway. So you triggered me when you showed it. But yeah. So I want to ask you, what got you started? I mean, from going back when you were a kid, is it just something that happened recently? What got you, Brie, into the paranormal, please?
I've been dealing with the paranormal my whole life. I had my first experience when I was 6, actually. So yeah, nice. I remember it very vividly. I was sleeping and I woke up in the middle of the night and I rolled over. I had 2 twin beds stuck together. And the other one that was next to me was covered with like all the umpteen stuffed animals that little girls have. And I noticed that my mom was sitting with her back to me on the edge of that bed. And I was getting ready to call her name. And she, just so you guys know, like the upstairs had like the big bedroom that I was in. It had a loft and then it had a bathroom. And my mom would always leave the closet light on in the bathroom because it would illuminate the whole upstairs just enough. Yeah. And so I'm getting ready to say mom, like, and ask her like why she's sitting there, and she starts to slowly turn her head, and as she turns her head, I can see the light go through her face and illuminate like the 1960s 1970s like solid oak dresser that had like the mirror with like the shelves on it. And I was like, all right. So I rolled back over, pulled the covers up, went back to sleep. Yeah. I went downstairs and asked my mom about it the next day, and she pulled out a picture of my great grandmother, and it was her that I saw, and she had no tie to the house or anything. So I kind of think it was maybe just her, checking on me. But I've had paranormal experiences my whole life. Everywhere I've lived, there's been spirits. I'm starting to realize that I'm a beacon for them. But I went through, ironically, a divorce, and it was through my divorce that my kids sat me down, my 2 oldest, my 19 and 8-year-old sons, and they were like, Mom, you have a passion and a love for the paranormal. You raised us on the OG shows, Paranormal State, Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventures. Why don't you start pursuing this, going to events and Paracons? So I started doing that and went on my first, not my first, but the first trip that became what I do now. I actually stopped at a rest stop, and I just had this feeling that I needed to start going to different places, like make it a fun trip, because I was going to North Carolina. So I stopped in Point Pleasant, rubbed the shiny hiney, went to I went to Sweet Springs,
Yeah.
And saw there, went down to the USS North Carolina where the event was at. And then on the way back, stopped at St. Albans and Trans-Allegheny. And I posted it all on Twitter and everybody went complete nuts over it. So, asking when am I going to do it again? And I loved it. I had a lot of fun. So I haven't had a weekend off since June 30th now. So,
what was that one place you just said we're going to back up? You went to Shiny what?
The Shiny Hiney, the Mothman. You rubbed the Shiny Hiney.
I thought I heard you say that, and I was like, okay, carry on. I've never heard that. What's happening?
To give you good luck. If you rub the Mothman's butt, it's supposed to give you good luck. So you always rub the butt.
Let's go, Dale.
Absolutely. We're a road trip tomorrow. We're going to rub the Shiny Hiney.
Show us the way. That's crazy. Oh my God.
Oh, that is absolutely crazy. Just want to say a quick hello to Three Souls Paranormal who are joining us. And a pair of normal folks, Kev. I finally figured out who it is. It's our good friend Kevin. And I never say her name right. Jemiah? Wait.
Jamelia.
Jamilia.
Big Kev.
It's Big Kev.
Oh my God.
Hello. I was just like, I was staring at the picture.
All mine.
Yeah, that's right. That he is one sexy beast, and she is a very lucky woman. A beautiful couple.
Love them.
Good, beautiful people. They sell some of the most amazing stuff. They made us our very own Paranormal Voiced thermal mugs, so we are so appreciative to those guys. We love them. We use them at every event we're at. So if you guys are ever at a paranormal event and you see them there, tell them the Paranormal Voice sent you and give them a big hug for us, because we love those guys.
And you know what I saw in their newsfeed real quick here? Kevin and Jamila have made a bunch of Ouija boards for this weekend's event. So I just want to let that out there. Anybody wants a Ouija board? They look pretty cool. I might grab one myself, because God knows I need one in my life.
Yeah, anyway, he needs another Ouija board in his life. Hello, Taylor Tim. How you doing? So, Brie, back to you in your adventures. Like I said, wow. Like, you are out there, and you are, like you said, you haven't had a day off since June. And here we are going into November. The weather's getting colder. You're not slowing down whatsoever, let me tell you. You've got some amazing things. I just love watching, and I'll tell you, and you have to talk about this story, because I still say you got bigger balls than most men that I know. Spent 3 days alone in the Hinsdale house. I couldn't even spend 6 hours alone in the Hinsdale house, let alone 3 days. And then she slept in the most famous room of the whole house. So, Brie, this road trip, Paranormal Road Trippin with Brie, it has taken off like a bullet train through China. So you got to talk about this. Like, this is thinking so far out of the box that it is unique.
Yeah. So, okay, I wasn't fully alone when I was at Hinsdale. I was actually invited by another group, but I did sleep in Mary's room both nights. I figured if I'm going to do it, I got to do it right. And what better way? As a paranormal investigator, we're supposed to continually grow, right? And see what we can and can't do, where our boundaries are, and can we continue to push those boundaries, And on top of that, I'm the type of person that I will hear what you have to say. I mean, everybody's seen Paranormal Lockdown. They saw, what happened with Nick Groff when he was choked and attacked, and he had to go back to the house and throw down and set boundaries. But like, for me, it was, okay, I believe this happened. I do believe I watched, I've heard other people's stories, but now I need to go in there and test it myself. I now need to see, can I validate the stories? Like, how much can I validate? And, so I'm always the person that's going to go and try to debunk. I'm always going to try to explain, try to figure it out. And it's not that I think that people are lying, but I want to make sure that, like, everything's accurate. Can I provide validation to what the claims are myself? If I can validate it, I want to validate it. And so yeah, I slept in Mary's room both nights, and both nights were quite interesting, to say the least. The first night I heard something, because we did Estes sessions the first night upstairs, and then I did another one with just 2 other people with me on Saturday night, and then we did a group session downstairs in the living room. And but the first night, I heard something walk out of the closet and walk up to the main bed and like pace between the bed and like Mary's bedroom door, but wouldn't cross the threshold. And it went back and forth for like a good 45 minutes. And I just laid there listening to it, like, well, okay, this is going on. And one thing we had noticed is that whenever activity would strike up, the house is still full of flies. Like, there's no explanation why there's all these flies everywhere. But whenever something was getting ready to happen, the flies go completely nuts. And they get aggressive. They'll like start like dive bombing you like Japanese bombers, and like they just ping right off you. And like these aren't like your typical like tiny little house flies. Like these are like the size of freaking pebbles, you know? So like it hurts, you know? And it's like they'll like ping off your face and you're like, ow, like that just happened.
Yeah.
And so the second night I was sleeping there, and I'll be honest, like I'm not one to yell. Dale has seen me investigate. And we had stuff happen. I don't run. I don't scream. I get excited. I'm like, oh, like this is awesome. Like I'm like a little kid with this stuff. It's horrible. I mean, it's amazing, but like I probably need to like tone it down a little bit.
No, be you. Love it.
Love
it.
But I'll be honest, like Hinsdale like scarred me the second night. Like it terrified me. I was laying in bed. I was the last one in bed again. And it was like right around like a little after 3. And I hear knocking coming from inside the closet. And I'm like, well, okay, sure. As soon as it stops, there's banging on the big bedroom windows, but on the outside of the house. So I'm thinking like, we're either having like somebody's desperate to get in this house. They've drug a ladder over, because if you've seen the Hinsdale house, it's the top windows on the front of the house. There's no way to get to these windows. You'd have to drag a ladder over. And so I'm like, either somebody's trying to break in and they're desperate, or we've got cryptid activity going on. Like, cause like that's outside. You could tell by like,
I love it. Yeah.
And so like, I'm like, okay, this is great. It stops. And then the banging starts on the inside, like on the wall with the closet, goes down that whole wall, hits the wall that like where the stairwell is. And as soon as it hits like where the door frame is, the knocking stops. Well, then you start hearing footsteps go up the stairs. And like, I'm listening to the footsteps. And I'm like, okay, well, it's too heavy to be the 2 girls we've got downstairs. It's too light to be one of the guys that was with us, who was a little bit bigger. So I'm like, all right, it's got to be one of the other 2 guys. Well, then it hits the top of the stairs and there's no more footsteps. It's a wooden floor. You should still hear, unless they're standing there. And those stairs are small. Like, it would be very uncomfortable to just stand there. So I'm like, okay, at this point, like, I'm feeling scared. Like, the investigator in me is saying, get your damn phone. Like, you need to start recording. But like, I had like this most uncomfortable fear, like just totally wash over me. So I'm like laying there. And at this point, like the flies are going crazy. I have the blanket pulled up like around my face so I can still breathe, but try to keep them off my face. And there's a lamp that we have on in the main room, but we had it on a soft glow. So like where I'm laying on my side and I'm looking at the dolls that are on the table in Mary's room. And the dolls don't just get shadowed. They don't turn gray. It's not like a light black. Like these dolls, they faded to black. Like the dolls no longer existed. The table was gone. It was black. Wow. And then like in between the table and the bed went completely black. And I'm like, this is bad. like at this point, like the investigator in me is going, yeah, this isn't too good. You know? But like I had like the feeling, like, you know, when you can tell when somebody walks up to you, you feel their presence, you know, somebody's next to you. I felt like somebody was standing right next to the bed, and I could feel like they had leaned down. And next thing I know, right in my face is this massive exhale, like a male. It sounded male. It wasn't a growl, but it was like from the bowels of hell, like just real deep in my face. And I'm like, this is bad. I pulled the blanket back and I'm like, please be a human. Please let it be one of the 2 guys, right? Like, I'm still trying to, like, let it be a guy.
Please be a human.
Please be a human. Because this I mean, like, I'm still looking at the doll. Everything is black. Like, I'm like looking at black. Something's next to me. Like, I don't know when I pull this blanket away what I'm going to see.
Right.
And there's nothing. Absolutely nothing is next to me. I flew out of that bed. I ran right into the main room. I didn't scream. I didn't run out of the house, but I flew. And so I had woken them up and they're like, Brie, what's going on? I fill them in and we start hearing noises. But where I'm standing, I can see down the stairs to the kitchen. I can see into Laura's room and then, of course, in Mary's. And the lady that was there with her husband, she's like, oh, it's just somebody probably coming to check on us. And I'm like, there's nobody in the kitchen because there's a nightlight on downstairs. So there's nothing in the kitchen. And I'm like, but there's nobody. And as soon as I say there's nobody, in Laura's room, you hear something crawl up the wall and across the wall, like it's dragging itself. I'm expecting something to like poke around, like look through the door at me. Nothing. And I'm like, okay, it took me like 10 minutes to calm down, but I went back in that bed and I slept. I conquered Mary's room. So
talk about, someone was checking in on you. I love it.
Oh,
so you had a shadow figure experience, a possible cryptid. Now, cryptid, oh my God, we got to go there for a minute. So my guilty pleasure, I love Bigfoot, Sasquatch. That's one of my things, but Dogman is my guilty pleasure. What are your thoughts on Dogman, if you could, please?
I believe that these cryptids exist. I do believe, because I mean, so much of our planet has not been thoroughly checked. You know, I mean, there's 93% of the ocean that hasn't been, discovered yet. I mean, you can't tell me every ounce, every square footage of forest has been thoroughly checked to see that there's nothing living there, or there's just too many accounts that coincide, and they coincide going back to, like, before there was technology, and they're from people that live in different areas, and they collaborate each other. So I mean, you can't tell me somebody's just bored and like pulling stuff out of thin air, and then somebody like a state away is doing the same thing. I believe it. I think, why not? I mean, if God can create us, why can't he create that too?
Absolutely. And it's funny, the more we go on with life now, it's like all these things that we're, that's a fairy tale, like the fairies, or even, dare I say, mermaids, or, Anubis, which is Dogman. Let's go back even further, right? Where was all that? These things seem to be more and more real and plausible. It's like, wait a minute, what is happening here? As they say, the veil is being unlifted. We're finding out more, like you're saying, all over the world. I mean, there's stuff on the cave walls. I mean, they're drawing similar things. Now, aside from that, I want to, now, Road Trippin' with Brie. I love the name. I love the concept. You are a spitfire, just sitting there talking to you. I want to go run around the block right now. I love it. Your passion is, to say you're passionate is an understatement. But now, so you're literally in your car driving around. I've seen, one or two.
I'm literally in my car right now.
That's where I was going with this. Yes, you're literally in your car right now doing this. I love it. Talk about on the scene. Oh my God, that's great.
Yeah, I went to Kings Park today because, like, I'm on a 3-week trip, and so every day I'm hitting a new location, a minimum of one location. If I can do more than one, I will do it. Today was a massive location. I went to Kings Park Psychiatric Hospital in Long Island. I actually got to see the New York skyline for the very first time, like, not on TV or in a book. So that was like, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of teared up because, not like with what I'm doing, like, I love going live. Like, my big thing is I love to go live because then I can bring everybody along for the ride with me, because there's so many people out there for health reasons, financial distance. They can't go to these locations. So I can bring it to them firsthand. They can, even on an investigation, I go live on investigations. So that way people can see what it really is like on an investigation, not something that was filmed for 5 days and then condensed into 45 minutes to make it look pretty and make it look like it's so easy, to find stuff when it's not always that easy. So today was Kings Park. And it was it was amazing. But yeah, I did my timing wrong. I forgot about how bad the traffic here sucks. And I was like, oh yeah, the podcast is at 8. If I leave by 5, that's 3 hours. No, still not enough time.
I for what you're doing, I don't think there's enough time anywhere in the world to do what you're doing because, like I said, I mean, it is a dream come true. I mean, you're following your passion, just like your kids told you about, which is truly amazing. And you know, Michael, John, and myself are finding out that very scenario. You know what? We've always been very passionate about the paranormal. Always wanted to do something with the paranormal. We got lucky. The show came about, and here we are hitting the road just a little over a year and a half now and following our passion by talking to people who have the same amount of passion as we do. And like I said, the moment you walked into the room in Palmyra in New York, it was like you just ooze passion when it comes to the paranormal, and you were doing things that night that really it just took me, like, it was fascinating to watch you investigate, and I learned so much from watching you. You introduced me to a new little gadget that I also have recently picked up myself, and I look forward to using it. It's called the Chattiest. It's by the Chattergeist. It is by Dimension Devices. What an amazing group. What an amazing group these guys are. You can check them out on Facebook, on Twitter, dimensiondevices.com or .uk.com or something like that. It is such a fascinating little gadget. Brie, if you can talk about the gadget for just a little bit and how you found it and give us, well, what happened? Oh, there she is. Tell us a little bit about the device, how you've been using it, and just so that the audience can get to know a little bit more about it.
Okay. I actually found out about it from the creator of. I actually filmed 2 episodes for an upcoming paranormal show called Anomaly Series, and the creator and producer of that show had been posting about it on Twitter, and so I started looking into it, and I reached out to them and started a conversation. I asked for more information, and this is basically like 5 devices, if not more, in one. It
wow.
Oh my gosh, I think it's 7 devices in one, and it's got 5 different languages on it. Like the dictionary portion of it has 17,500 words, whereas the Ovilus has about 5,000. So there's more extension there. It's got an 8-ball feature. I love the 8-ball. It just it looks like an 8-ball, and it. Let's see. Do I have? Because I just pulled it out. Yeah. Hold on, and I can plug it in and I can show you real quick. But I love it because like it's you ask yes or no questions, and if it's a yes, it'll say. It might not say like yes right away, but it'll say or like true, but it'll say like possible other words for yes. And then it will say things like for I'm trying to find my cord, sorry.
It's okay.
Find it. I've got so many things I plug in my car and charge for. I got battery
I can't imagine.
phones and chatter guys, but the if it's a no, it'll show red, like false, negative, different words for no. And then if it's a maybe, it'll say like plausible, possible, like it'll say like the maybe words, and they turn up yellow. And I was using that when we were at Palmyra, and it was it was intelligent responses, like super quick. And I would get a response, and it would actually, like, as soon as I got a response, we would have a device, if not next to me, go off, but like in another room go off. And it was like they were validating each other. And then when I was standing on the top floor of the general store, I was talking to Joe and Dominic, who are from Next of Kin, and I had the dictionary function going, and I was talking about the house next door and how the original house that's the museum had burned down, and a woman and her 6 children were killed in that fire. That there's quite, and before I can even fully go into the story on the dictionary mode, it's coming up with like ashes, death, cremation, like all these words like started coming through, and like it actually ended up telling a story, and it seemed like it was pointing a finger at not an accidental death but a possible murder by the stuff that was coming across. And I know that that is a theory that is out there that people don't talk about too much, but it is a theory that I've heard. So that was really interesting, but I love it. It's got a drawing pad mode, it's got Ouija board, it's got phonetics, it's got a couple other options on there. I love it. I think that depending on what you're looking for, it's there. You do have to have a battery pack for it. One thing that I love with it is I've gotten my battery packs from Walmart, and so you can get like what I'm thinking about doing is doing like a piece of Velcro like on the back where I can just like get a small cord and just like make sure it sticks to my battery pack. That way I'm just carrying this. But I love it. I actually was asked to be an affiliate for them, so I just got to finish filling out my paperwork. I just haven't had a chance to do it yet because I've been on the road so much. So but yeah, it's a great device. I mean, I have found it to be on point more often than not. I don't think I've had it do a questionable response yet in an investigation.
So with that being said, I mean, wow, that sounds like the ultimate tool at this point from what I've heard. But I want to ask you, I mean, yes, so you definitely condone the use of this, but I mean, with everything out there, I mean, let's go back old school a bit. I mean, even to like automatic writing or good old, my favorite, Ouija boards. I mean, what now, if you could choose, like, out of those two, I mean, what would you pick and why? Or even something else? One thing you got, basic, not electronic, not fancy, just you and this one tool that you can use out there in the field.
It'd be my phone. If I had to
nice
choose
answer.
anything,
like
it would be my phone. Because I always tell everybody, you're going to be your best piece of equipment that you can invest in. But you got to make sure that you're open to what is around you. If you go in skeptical and questioning, then your what you feel and what you think, what you hear is going to be off. You got to make sure that you are open to the environment that you're walking into, so, but your body's going to pick up on it. Like when I was at Hinsdale and I had that feeling of fear, like my body picked up on it like good 5 minutes before anything happened, and you're gonna have that where your hair stands up on end. You're gonna be able to feel the cold spots. You're gonna feel the hot. You're gonna have that feeling that somebody's watching you, like the hair on the back of your neck standing up, the uneasiness. But with your phone, you can do EVPs on your phone. You can take pictures. I'm a huge picture and video person. I'm constantly taking videos when I'm on an investigation. I'm constantly snapping pictures. Just make sure if you do pictures, this is my biggest piece of advice, don't move and take 3 in a row. Always take 3 in a row, because then it's going to validate any findings that you have. You're going to have a before, a middle, and an after. And it's going to validate anything that could happen in that string of 3. So.
Absolutely. Just want to do a quick shout out here, Brie. We have it a lot. We have Joe B on the site you were talking about, next to Kid Paranormal. Amazing investigator, him and his son. Like I said, they were amazing guys. We have Courtney Peterson. She says, "Hi, sis." Sandra from Get Haunted. Hey, guys. We have Thomas Tapia. I want one. Courtney says, "Wow," and that's crazy. Steve White can give you a ride. It says Courtney Peterson can give you a ride. Give me a ride. I'm stuck on a mystery road. My car is. I don't know what he's talking about, but but then we have Adam Van Curran. It says, "Oh, it's Brie. Hello, dear. Hello, gentlemen." Adam, it's good to see you, buddy. And we have our good friend Joe Oddity, Para Oddity, tuning in. What an amazing!
Thank you.
What an amazing guy! Yeah, he is definitely a guy that would love that device because he's all about the gadgets. He makes some himself. So yeah, I think I was showing it to him when we were up at Lockport. We had the opportunity to hang out with him and investigate him. A great store, the Paranormal Oddity store right there in Depew, New York. It's an amazing little place. So if you're ever in the New York area, in the Depew area, check that out. You can find him on Facebook and I think he said on Instagram. I am not 100%. Joe will correct me on that. But yeah, no, what an amazing but so Brie, you've got so much going on. You've got a new project that you are just working on with Chris Smith from Paranormal Road Trip. I believe that's the name of the show.
He does a haunted road trip and horror
Haunted Road Trip. That's it.
He's also on Hulu's Monster Inside that dropped October 12th. Yeah,
oh wow!
He's one of the stars from there.
Oh, that is so cool. Yeah. So let's talk about this new project that you have going on.
So excited about this. Okay, so Chris had approached me when I was doing, because this isn't my first like big road trip. Every weekend I'm off, right? I'm off doing something. But the end of September, I had a 2-week, 2-day trip that I did where I hit 12 states. So this one is right. This one is going to be 3 weeks, like I said. But Chris had reached out to me and we did some talking, and he does a lot of horror stuff, like the Halloween haunts, and
nice.
Explained to me about his show and stuff, and we agreed that we could do like a really cool like cross collab, like the horror with the paranormal, doing investigations. So I actually October 15th went up to Michigan, and he took me to 2 different like haunts. The first one being Eloise Insane Asylum. We got to do that, and what was really cool is like we got to do the first floor, but then we also got to go into the tunnels of Eloise, which you can't do on an investigation. They only have them open for the Halloween haunt. So that was really cool. So it was like horror, but it still had that paranormal feel to it, and you could definitely, I'm going to tell you right now, you could definitely feel the heaviness, and you could feel emotions during certain parts of it. It was quite interesting. And then he took me to Hush, which was phenomenal. It was like a magic carpet ride the way they had that place set up. We had a lot of fun. We definitely had jump scares. But so we did that portion, but we still got to do the investigation portion. So there's a part 2. So part 2 actually picks up this Monday. There we go. This Monday, November 6th at 7 p.m. We are going live, you guys. And there's a lot of twists and turns with this investigation that Chris and I are going to be doing at Wildwood Sanitarium. So there's quite a few surprises. I can't say, I don't want to say too much about this, but let's just say that we are breaking ground in the paranormal field with this collaboration that we're doing on November 6th. We do have another investigation that we'll be doing after this one at another location, but this is the first investigation that we are doing where we do the cross collab with paranormal. So this one, I don't want to say too much. I don't want to give too much away. But I can just say this much: we are definitely breaking ground and doing stuff that I haven't seen anybody else do with this.
So not only, Brie, are you passionate, but you're charismatic, you're innovative. Oh my God! Just when you think you heard it all, you're like, oh, and by the way, boom! Let's do another drop of lightning there. Look what we're doing now. No one's seen this before, but I can't tell you about it. But you better watch it because you're going to learn a thing or two, and I love it.
Absolutely. Where are we going to be able to watch this?
Okay, so it's going to be streaming. I do believe that we're using my StreamYard, so it's going to be going across Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. We're going to be dropping the links for those.
Okay.
So we're working on it. I got to give him all the StreamYard information. If we're not using mine, we'll be using his, but it's going to be, you're going to see it cross platform. It's going to be, I will be live all night. I will say that much.
Sweet.
So,
Wait.
but the main portion of it that you don't want to miss, it's kicking off at 7:00. And yeah, like the doors are, I won't be leaving the property till 10:00 in the morning. So we won't be leaving the property. So yeah, it's gonna be insane, you guys. Like
I believe you.
Yeah, this is I'm really geeked about this. I'm so excited because we're doing stuff that nobody else that I've seen has done. And the twist that's being thrown into this, the monkey wrench, if you will, is definitely, I think, gonna leave more than a few jaws on the ground. Like,
yes.
So yeah, I think a lot of people are gonna be pleasantly surprised and going, "Oh my God, this just happened."
And without a shadow of a doubt, anything that you're into, and Chris Smith is a part of, like I said, he is a man with a very good mind and a very grasp on the paranormal, as well as, like you said, he's more into the horror stuff. So yeah, I'm so looking forward to watching this and what develops of it, because like I said, you yourself is such a go-getter in the paranormal field. Like it is watching you is like watching a breath of fresh air, because what you're doing and what you're about to do is what the paranormal community needs. We need people that think outside the box, because I'm sure everybody's tired of watching the shows of people just running around in the dark going, "Hello, are you here? Can you speak with us? Can you make a noise? Can you make this device go off?" Which that's the basis of it. And don't get me wrong, it does work, but it's a breath of fresh air when you see people out there trying to do something new, exciting, innovative, and seeing what kind of results comes out of this.
Yeah, you have to, and I think you even asked, because you had me on when I was at the Phantasmacon on Saturday. You asked me about the box, and you got to get rid of the box. You got to you got to shred it, burn it, get rid of the box. If you keep yourself confined to the same mindset, we're not going to grow. You're not going to grow as an investigator. You're going to be deja vu. I mean, you're going to be living in Groundhog Day, going, why isn't this better? Why isn't this changing? Why are we not progressing forward? And unless you burn that box and you're willing to step outside of it and say, okay, what can I do? It's going to be the same, and that's something that I want to do. Is I want to, I want to see what I can do to help in a positive way change the field, to change the community. I want to inspire in people to get out there and go and do, like keep making your bucket list, but knock stuff off of it. This trip, I feel so much on this trip. Like I said, I saw the New York skyline for the very first time today in person. Never thought I would ever get that chance. I got to go into Rhode Island. I got to, I'm meeting people. Like I even, I had Brian J. Cano with me last Wednesday, hanging out for the day, and we did Seaside Sanitarium. Matt Warner on Monday, we did Hearts Off Hall together. I got to see Lizzie Borden on Monday as well. So it's, don't make the excuses. I mean, everybody, it's almost like having a baby. Well, when we have the money, when we do you're never going to have the money. You're always going to have the bills. You're always going to have the responsibilities. I'm a single mom, with 3 kids, and nobody's going to live your life for you. One thing that a huge thing that affected me to do everything that I'm doing is you can't make any more excuses. You can't live a life in regret. I turned 43 in September.
what legacy am I leaving for my kids? You know, what example am I showing them to just be okay to get up and just, you know, live the 9 to 5 and, you know, not do for themselves or for their loved ones? I mean, yes, there's responsibilities. I'm not telling people to be irresponsible. Please, for the love of God, don't be irresponsible. But, you know, don't be scared. Don't let the fear hold you back. You know, I mean, I got my oil changed before I started this trip, and they're saying I don't need my oil changed again until January 13th, 2024, when my mileage hits 120,000, and I'm already at 118,000. Don't make the excuses. Just go and do, you know, like do it, you know, like I want to inspire people to think outside of the box and to have fun, to be in love with what they're doing, you know,
Yes.
love it. If being in the paranormal or anything else that you're a part of in your life, you start feeling sad and, oh God, I got another investigation, son of a, you know, like you start feeling that way, take a step back.
Yeah.
You know, reevaluate it. The way I am right now, I have a lot of people asking, aren't you scared of burnout? Like, no, because I'm living my dreams right now. You know, I mean,
Love it.
I'm on a shoestring budget, but you know what? I make my budget work.
Yes.
Right.
So,
and
sorry,
what a great message. What a great message. I really love that. I mean, get out there, make it happen. I mean, if you have a dream, absolutely. I mean, I've sat around and procrastinated. I've had my own, you know, obstacles and mountains to climb. That's the short version. Like, my point is, this is not about me. It's about what you're saying and your messages. Yes, I can't agree more. Get out there and do it. Live your life to the best of your ability. Don't have regrets. You know what I mean? I mean, yes, definitely. Be responsible. Take care of what you got to take care of. But go live. Go see some things. Go see the New York skyline. However that resonates with you listening. Yes, Brie, I love it. I can't agree more.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And comments that are coming in, our good friend Anthony says, hello, paranormal peeps. And Mecca Bardot, it says, be like Brie, budget your dreams.
Amen.
That's great.
I love it. I mean, I love the hashtag be like Brie. Like, you were wearing that shirt on Saturday at the Phantasmacon. You know what? And that's absolutely it. You have to be yourself. You have to follow your passions. You have to do what's going to make you happy, because we have one shot at this life. Make it the best life as you possibly can, and just go out there and do it. Don't be afraid of what's going to happen, because nothing's going to happen if you don't do nothing at all. And I mean, here you are, you're out on the road, you're doing it, you're making your happiness, you're following something that you've loved to do and been so passionate, and it's because of people like you that are out there doing it. It's the reason why Michael John and myself are here, being able to talk to such fascinating, passionate people who are bringing it to the paranormal. And I mean, you don't have to be a celebrity on a TV to be inspiring, because you are inspiring. You are 100% authentic, and anybody who gets to know you knows just how authentic you are and how passionate you could possibly be in it. I'm so proud to say that you are definitely a friend of the Paranormal Voice, and we'd love to see how you are going to grow, because you are amazing. And don't stop being you. Be like Brie. Just keep being it.
Thank you. I appreciate that so much. That means a lot to me.
I want to ask you, though, so speaking of hashtag be like Brie, you do have some swag going on. So anybody out there watching again live or up the road here, they're watching this, the replay, going, oh my God, I'm digging what she's about. I'm going to wear some of that stuff she's wearing. I want to represent Be Like Brie. Where do they find this stuff?
Just send me a message. Right now I'm handling all of my merch myself. I've got bags, I've got hoodies, and I've got t-shirts, black and heather gray, that say the hashtag Be Like Brie on it. I'm actually going to have those this weekend. On Sunday, I'll be at the East Coast Para Expo, and I'll have all that merch with me available. So yeah, just send me a message. And I can definitely work something out with getting that to you. The t-shirts start at 20 and the hoodies start at 45. So bags are 8.
So
I wish show you, but every day, what I've been doing too on my trip, I always have a shout out Friday, because what I like to do is I like to shout out a group or a person or a company that I feel is like making strides and doing amazing things in the community. And so I always wear their swag on Friday. But what I decided to make this trip better is every day I've brought somebody's merch with me. And so every day's been something different, except for when I was at the Paracon and yesterday when I dressed up as a 1940s nurse for Halloween. But like today I've got on I got on Kalani today with his spooky sweatshirt that his wife created. So like today I'm repping Kalani. Each day's been somebody different. I've repped, Vince Coyne with Urban Investigator. Who else? The Ghoul Guide. I repped Courtney Easton with her Ghoul Guide that she does. I mean, I'm trying to highlight different people. So
that's what it's about. Absolutely.
we can't wait to see what a paranormal voice t-shirt's going to look like on you.
Yes, I will rock that out, and I will advertise, and yes, because it's all about loving and supporting each other too. Like we're all in this together. We're all doing it differently. We've all got different paths and different journeys in the paranormal, but we're all nobody's gonna be carbon copy. We shouldn't be carbon copy, at least. We should all be doing something different and bringing something different to the table so we can teach each other and learn from each other. And I want to support as much as I can, because if we're not supporting each other, nobody else is going to want to show us love and support. So
absolutely. So Brie, you were just talking about an appearance that you're doing this weekend. Could you tell us once again, and maybe some details on how people can buy tickets and attend this event and to get to meet you in person?
Yeah, so I will be at the East Coast Para Expo at Hartsuff Hall in Rockland, Massachusetts. It's the same place that I was at with Matt Warner on Monday when he did the walkthrough live with me. And you can go to the Warner Preservation. I believe it's a page on Facebook. They've actually on Saturday, they're doing a VIP gallery reading and paranormal investigation. Tickets are still available for that. I will be present for that as well. And the tickets for Saturday, I do believe you can buy those at the door as well too. But I can make sure that you can send me a message and I can make sure that you get all that, and I can make sure you get the information too if you wanted to post that with the links on your YouTube or whatever, your Facebook. So, but yeah, there's going to be a lot of amazing people there. I know that Russ Stiver from Unturned Pages is going to be there. Drew, representing the Haunted Raven and the Dark Raven photography, is supposed to be there. There's going to be a bunch of people that don't have booths that are supposed to be showing up, walking around as well. So you'll be able to meet other people in the paranormal field. This is more of an intimate setting, so that way it's more of networking. This is for like the newer people in the community, so we can support each other, get to meet each other. It's not going to be your typical Paracon where you've got your celebrity speakers and whatnot. It's based for networking and getting to know each other and show each other love, which is really cool when you think about that.
Absolutely. And nothing better than to being able to get out there and hang out with like-minded people. That's why we love going to these paranormal events. It's because we get to meet old and new family members. Like I said, it's absolutely so. If you're out in that area, go down, attend. You get to meet Brie in person and just see just how amazing she truly is in real life, not just on video.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah, wow, our time is dueling it down. So one more time, I'm going to pull up this poster one more time. This coming Monday, November the 6th at 7 p.m., check out the Wildwood Sanitarium, a haunting collab part 2 with Chris Smith and Brie. It's going to be off the wall, so look for all the links so that you can tune in and check out what is going to happen next. It is going to be amazing. So Brie, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy road trip to talk with us here at the Paranormal Voice. We look forward to seeing what you're going to be doing next. And I mean, I know what you're going to be doing on Monday, so we're all going to be tuning in on Monday to see what you're doing. But yeah, thank you so much, and it's been such a breath of fresh air to sit here and talk with you this past hour.
Oh, thank you so much for having me on. You guys, I consider you guys like, Dale, like you're like family to me, and Michael, now you're family to me too. So, I'm finally getting a chance to like talk to you. You're welcome. Thank you. So I feel very honored that you invited me on your show. Thank you so much. That means the world to me. I'll always make time for you guys, even if I got to pull over in my car.
Literally,
I'm in a Dunkin' Donuts parking lot, you guys.
I love it so much. I really do.
Yes.
So Brie, with that being said, again, you know what I mean? You're definitely innovative. You're passionate. You're charismatic. What you see is what you get. Thank you for being you. Never change that. Keep reaching for the stars, as I like to say, right? So this is the one and only Brie Hollingshead of Road Trippin with Brie. Check her out. The fastest rising star we've seen in a long time in the paranormal community. Get out of her way because she's on her way. I'll say it like that. Thank you to everybody, the creeps, the freaks, the weirdos that make up the TPV Nation from day one to day now. We cannot do, Dale and myself, cannot do what we do, and that is this right here, right now, without all of you. So thank you so much, of course, to everyone there. We did say what we wanted to say, what we needed to say, what we had to say. Hell yes, we all said it right here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to see you all on the other side, but in the meantime and in between time, happy hunting.
Happy huntings.